How's it going, everyone? And welcome to
Hmm.
a cop out week of no excuses on VTWProductions.com and YouTube.com with your favorite show hosts, Still.
Venurian.
And I'm dying of the ick.
The corpse of
Sweet.
Volcel, yes.
Which
Sweet.
seems terribly, terribly unfair because this illness didn't even bite down at all until today, even though I was sick all week. It was of a trivial magnitude, and I kept going to work like normal. It wasn't any problem. And then today I woke up and everything was destroyed. I've got no energy whatsoever, and
Yeah.
my entire head appears to be full of mystery fluids.
Ew.
So, we were going to do a Game Awards show today, but Vol's sick, and honestly, I'm not in a good headspace to do it.
Yeah, so we will put that off for next week and make that our end of year show.
Yep.
So
today...
we'll end the year the way we have basically run the entire year. Full
with
of
a train
hate.
wreck.
Yes.
Oh. So, we're just going to kind of shoot the breeze a little bit. Oh, the urgent quest timer ended.
Yeah, we're just going to do a bit of a cop-out show and play some PSO2 since Chapter 6 launched. Which means we are mostly caught up with Japan.
Yep.
And I had the familiar experience of signing in and not knowing anything about anything.
I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of things we can do. As a group, the thing to do first, I think, would be to do recommended quests to get yourselves the 15-star gunblade and all the materials to turn it into whatever weapon type you want.
Okay, are harmonizers excluded from that? Because they always seem to be.
I don't know. Maybe. Although a harmonizer doesn't give you as much as a pet would, you might be able to get an egg.
Ooh, an egg.
So
it's actually
I
worth
don't know what you're
noting.
talking about.
Yeah, we do have now a pet that Japan did not have. What the hell is that? Hold on. Derailed. Come over to the quest bench and just check this out.
I'm coming.
Well, that's alarming.
That is a work of genius, is what that is. Sick, twisted genius.
Welcome, PSO2.
When your character can look like that.
This is how we do.
Yeah.
In the PSO2.
Where was I? I think summoners are slightly, might be actually on par with Japan now, because we have a pet that wasn't on the Japanese list last I looked. Available, being the upgraded Synchro. Incidentally, they have an upgrade to Redrin, which is what I always use, but calling it an upgrade is the wrong word. It is a fecal waste of time. Is what it is. It is crap.
I see.
Yeah, so don't upgrade your Redrins, people. It is crap.
So what? So it gets worse?
Mm-hmm.
They're actually upgrades to being something worse.
Yeah, I think its base stats are actually better, but the way that its abilities actually work is worse.
That's fairly impressive in a way.
Yeah. Alright, so we're just going to try and figure out what on earth we're doing and trying not to embarrass ourselves too much while we just talk utter nonsense as we usually do.
Sounds like a plan.
Which means, yeah, you wait for our hot takes for the Game Awards till next week.
Pretty much.
Although you can probably guess what we're going to say. Overrated game is overrated.
They were bad.
Video game was bad, and
I actually sat through it, but my attention drifted pretty significantly several times, so I don't remember a great deal of it.
What really got me actually was the music breaks. Like, the first one was great. It was a shot from Persona 5 Scramble, so it was Last Surprise, except Dynasty Warriors. As they
Y'all done your daily shit, by the way?
Not yet. Actually, I should check
come
the
get,
dailies.
which
was great. And then they brought out this brand new band that they decided they were going to debut on the Game Awards, and it was atrocious.
It was a political exercise. It wasn't a band.
Well, okay, yes. You couldn't even look at it. It was like cartoon. Oh, it was animated characters, but the colors were just my eyes.
It was the
Also-
woke gorillas.
It was the woke gorillas, except without any of the talent.
Or charm, or interesting design, or
Or
anything really. It didn't have anything. They were generic human figures with political slogans attached to them singing badly.
Outdated political slogans. So yeah, thankfully we made up for it with the London Symphonic Orchestra, which, if you hadn't actually watched it, the Mario one was a delight because you had the orchestra all sitting around playing the music, incredibly po-faced as they usually do, and then it would cut to the drummer, and she was this wild-looking woman with big hair, and she was just having the time of her life off in the corner. So it was great. But anyway, the rest of the Game Awards we will go into in depth. Suffice to say, though, it was embarrassing and cringy.
Yes. I've only watched snippets so far. As I mentioned before, not the appropriate headspace to do anything productive.
No.
Bad things been happening. Don't know how I'll process it or how we'll do a show about it at some point, but
Or
I will inform you. I will inform you all of the happenings on at some point and what they
Oh.
mean.
We're going to have to loiter around the second stage at length until Gorongo show up, aren't we?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Can I use this ability yet? Nope. I have no idea what... I've got a dash ability, but I have no idea what is to trigger it.
So yeah.
Anyway.
So we can start with a faux show this week. We had weeks presumably. Well, sort of.
Sort of.
So Fern, you want to tell us what you did this week?
All right. Mostly not a whole lot. It's been the mad scramble getting ready for Christmas, which is somehow only 2 weeks away.
Isn't Christmas also a mad scramble, though?
Yes. So, haven't really done anything gamey, unfortunately. Cyberpunk did launch, but I've decided not to buy that one for
I've heard
probably a few
nothing but-
months.
So if you turn off the commentariat on that game, the reporting is holy crap, it's buggy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The commentariat's only saying that now as well. Like I've literally not heard anybody tell me a positive fact about that game.
Mhm.
And that's not. It's not true that I haven't heard anybody say anything positive about that game, but I haven't heard anybody tell me a positive fact about that game, because most of the positive things people have said about it are denunciations of the people who think that it's not good.
That's not positivity, people.
And something tells me most of the positive talk has a political angle to it because of the people it's coming.
No, it just doesn't. Nobody is addressing the political angle. People, the woke crowd are very mad at this game. They hate it.
I see. Well, they're mad at
Because-
everything, so
There are things like billboards up saying with slogans on them like the Second Amendment isn't just for the rich and that sort of thing.
oh, I need to buy this game now.
Oh yeah, the whole cyberpunk setting is a big send-up of that type of culture.
I know. It's just oh dear me.
And how it never comes to a good end. But yeah, everything I've seen about it has not been how good the game is, how much fun it is, or what the story's like. It's been, holy crap, the bugs.
Well, there've been two major schools of thought that I've seen on this. One of them is complaining about the bugs, and the other one is talking about penis size.
Yes.
And that's literally the entirety
I
of
mean,
the discussion about this game.
yeah, you put a slider like that in there, and people are going to do silly, silly things with it.
I've seen a lot of memes with. Remember the original Yu-Gi-Oh series and the villain Zork?
Oh, with the dragon, yeah,
Dragon Dong, yeah.
yeah,
Just his dong is a big giant dragon neck.
yeah. Why was Zork?
So I've seen a whole lot of Cyberpunk 2077 memes with Zork involved.
So yeah, that's probably going to be let's just leave it on the shelf till later.
Yep.
As far as what I've actually done this week, finished watching Kimono Michi and still enjoyed that thoroughly. So I decided to just pick something random and silly and sit down and watch that. And the random silliness that I ended up with was Sleepy Princess in a Demon Castle. Which I honestly thought I'd hate. Turns out I actually really enjoyed this show because it's so cute and silly and ridiculous. So the whole premise is a princess gets kidnapped by a demon lord and held in a castle hostage until the hero comes and saves her. Generic. The problem is the princess decides that really she's bored out of her brain. There's absolutely nothing to do with her sleeping. So she sets about to make herself as comfortable as possible and everyone else can just go to hell.
I see.
Yeah, so it takes all of maybe a minute for her to break out of her cell and just start roaming the castle, collecting bits and pieces she needs to make herself a comfortable pillow and things like that. Half the time, just driving the demons absolutely mad until they learn to just kind of go with it. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a bit of a brainless series until maybe the last 3 episodes or so, where they start doing this little thing about why demons and humans hate each other. But it's about as deep as that, and that's as far as they go with it, really. So yeah, if you're just after a bit of light, popcorny fun that's cute and actually made me laugh out loud a couple of times, then I'd recommend it.
I see. I might actually watch that since the rest of the season's been so damn disappointing.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, my first big red flag on that series though was the Moe tag on it. Usually I see Moe and I just kind of hiss and run away and hide in the corner.
Well, the use of that word has sort of fallen out of popularity, so it doesn't really mean a great deal anymore, I don't think.
It kind of lost its meaning at one point where everything was Moe.
That was basically in that surge of turning dating visual novels into anime.
Yeah.
And then all the other things that spiraled out from there. But that was like a mid 2000s fad sort of thing, which is more or less died off now. I mean, it's not like the attributes of Moe aren't still used, but it's no longer used as the central focus most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Moe Blob show feels like the type of show that preceded the
Isekai.
light novel. Yeah, the Isekai light novel adaptation.
Previous big thing.
Y'all got
still waiting for that one to die.
Yeah. Honestly, I think we've started to reach everything that can be done with Isekai has been done.
I don't know. Every time I think that,
well,
the ride never ends.
It's stupid thing in another world.
Well, the thing with the isekai genre is it's quite expensive, largely because it allows you to do bad writing and call it good writing.
And get away with it.
Because it's essentially a way of... It's basically the opposite of a deconstruction, in that you can do something which desperately begs for deconstruction with a straight face. So, like, you can break all of the conventional rules. You can make your character as much of a Mary Sue as you want. You can stack the deck in their favor as much as you want. You can do things that are completely unjustified and nonsensical, and nobody will ever call you on it. And as a result of that, you can fit a huge amount of material into that particular genre.
So, yeah. With any luck, actually, have any of the new series started around the place?
We're still on the tail end of. We're still on the tail end of the current season.
Well,
it's not time for new ones to start yet.
Attack on Titan season 4 has started, and I've started watching that. But that's a continuation, not a new show.
Yeah, pretty much everything for the next season that's going to be worth watching. It looks like a continuation. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm just trying to dig. What else did I play? I kept playing a bit of Greedfall and got the hang of that. Now that I actually changed to the female character and actually have a competent voice actor to do all the talking, it's gotten a lot better. Because, having things like emotion and various different inflections in your voice rather than I'm accusing you of, farting in my face all the time voice, which is what the male character does. Ugh.
I think I made the joke last week. It would be repetitive if I made it again.
You probably did.
The women's joke.
Magetsu bonus key.
Nice. Magetsu's mostly Star Gem. He doesn't give much EXP or drops. But, hey, free
I
Star
ain't
Gems.
gonna my nose up at Star Gems, man.
I'll take Star Gems.
It's not an insignificant amount of EXP. It's just not anything close to the other bonus.
I
Yeah.
haven't used any bonus keys yet. I'm sort of trying to decide if I should just hoard them.
Well, they have an expiration
They
date.
do have an expiration date.
Yeah, but I'm not. It's not immediate.
No.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, I'm going to have to devote some time to, popping all of my boosters and then doing a whole bunch all at once.
So the go-to strat for that is wait for PSO2 or PSO22 day, and then pop them if you can. If they're going to expire before then just go ahead and blow them with minor boosters.
Yeah.
And hoard all the ones you can that are rolling over into PSO2 day, and then pop them all at once. And then you can basically instant a class to max level. I have a Tokyo Rainbow key that I got.
Ooh. I suppose that one's multiplayer.
No.
Huh. That's nice they've changed
Oh,
the name of my slave bowl. It's a
Oh,
Raven
yeah.
bowl now.
Yeah, slave is racist.
Yeah, that's the worst reason to do anything. But apparently that's not going to stop them.
Yeah. Let's just not do that.
Let's see, do I
Ooh, Star Gem ticket.
have any bonus tickets that are about to expire? I've got a few in my inventory.
Maybe.
This one expired in September. This is expiring on the 20th, on the 18th, on the 20th. Well, this one will last till next
January.
year.
Yeah.
So hold on to that one.
The ones you get for promos and stuff last significantly longer.
This one's going to expire on the 15th, so I'll have to do that one soon.
Yeah, hang on, I'm just going to dump a bit of junk. Apparently I was still carrying some stuff around from before. We're going to grind it into swap points. Or cubes. Give me cubes.
How did you have time to watch an entire anime up to date?
Usually by laying in bed and just watching a couple of episodes a night. That tends to be how I do most of my anime watching these days.
Grab us an NPC so that we don't have randos joining us.
Okay.
Vita weapons.
Sell some junk.
Some junk. Oh, we got a Santa candy cane at some point. It's a weapon camo.
Okay. I couldn't be bothered grinding these.
Bag crammed junk.
Sorted out the junk. So much junk.
Oh, this is 9-star. I'm just.
Alright, onwards.
Yep. So, yeah, we're over.
Shortcut to the thingy here? I don't think there is.
Just come back in the gate area and get on the ship.
Yeah. The plaza is the only area without a shortcut to the ship.
Yep.
Which is dumb.
So, yeah.
So, yeah, with all that said, I think that's pretty much going to be my week. It's been crazy and not a whole lot have happened. The biggest gaming thing I admittedly did was watch the Game Awards in its entirety.
Ugh,
Kill me now.
so much
Horror.
cringe. Oh my goodness.
Ugh,
Well, I don't want to
Horror.
share a hobby with these people.
get out of my hobby.
If that's what gaming really is, then I'm going to find a new hobby.
By being cringy and embarrassing.
Fortunately, there is almost nothing in common with gaming present at the Game Awards.
Yeah, it's really not for gamers so much as just the industry stroking its own ego.
So,
Right. I mean,
we
people
got-
will come and watch the trailers, and that's about it. They honestly don't care too much about the actual awards.
Yeah, I guess this is anecdotal to the rest of the show, but oh my goodness, the Sephiroth chimp out that was going on.
Ugh.
Oh, it consumed my entire newsfeed.
Yeah, Sephiroth in Smash. Spoilers.
Smashfans.jpg.
Seriously. Like, don't let yourself get caught in a Taco Bell near those people.
Oh, there's the button. Do some more. There we go. Alright. So, I still have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing in this game at this point.
It's okay, we're just booping around doing recommended quests. Pretty brainless and easy to do a show with.
Yeah. Got a no-brainer way through it all.
Yep.
So, Vol, have you done anything this week? Please say you haven't, other than dying.
I mostly died. Although, like I said, it was not actually that bad until today, where everything, obviously, because it's a day off, I have to suffer instead of being able to enjoy myself.
Of course.
But I did last week. Oh no, what day was it? Monday. Monday, since it was on limited time availability, I watched the another one of them. What's it call it? My Hero Academia movie.
Oh, I saw that, but I didn't get in time for
You didn't miss much.
it.
It reminded me a lot of a Naruto movie.
In a good or a bad way?
Well, in that it's basically just an opportunity to have an overly large cast all get a chance to fight.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's a very sort of contrived setup and a villain who's basically a recycled version of the baddie that, what's his name? I don't remember. The guy who has the opposite power to All Might.
One for all, or all for one.
All for one.
I can never remember which way around it is. But basically the bad guy was a nerfed version of that.
Boo.
And that's it. They have a big fight.
Was it?
There's
That's-
really nothing to write home about, that's for sure.
That's
Was
all
it
they
the
do is they
first-
just have a fight.
Was it the first movie or the new second movie?
The new one.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
I missed the first one, so I thought I'd watch this one while it was available, and it was really not. Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
Don't go out of your way for it. It's something that is exclusively of value to people who are super fans of the franchise because it doesn't add anything in any way.
I'll admit I will happily sit down and watch a big shonen fight for the sake of watching a big shonen fight.
It's not that I didn't enjoy it. It's just that it was super generic.
Yeah.
Like super generic, and you could. It felt a lot like recycled content in a lot of ways.
Mm.
Like all of the story beats, just they felt like I've seen this before somewhere. That probably exists in the story in another form
Yeah.
already.
In this case, the villain for one.
Yeah, but it's basically it's like a Dragon Ball Z movie or a Naruto movie. They've put an enemy in there so that everybody can have a big fight, and that's the whole point.
Yeah,
There's
Okay.
I was just going to say there's not really much more to say about the movie than that. It doesn't. It's not even spectacular in terms of production values. It's just good. It's slightly above the animated series, but the animated series is already very good, so you probably won't even notice a difference.
Mm.
The first movie was actually pretty good. It wasn't
The
great.
first movie was I got the impression based on the way they marketed it that it was more like a coherent standalone story and an intention.
Yeah, it was. it did not give a good chunk of the characters any kind of fight. It was mostly focused on the narrative and exploring All Might's past and people he used to know.
Yeah. Well, if you watch the main series, that's a pretty big black hole in the plot.
Yeah. So they
Well,
go out of their way
they've
to
got-
explain that.
They've got room to breathe there. In this case, it's basically there's an old fogey of a superhero has retired, and he or she, it's not really made clear since they never appear, was basically the token hero for like a small island with like 10,000 people or something, a very small community. And so they don't have anybody to fill in for him until somebody new can be assigned to take care of the island. So as sort of a experiment in practical lessons, they've decided to just assign 1A to serve the island as their heroes until such time as the new one is appointed. And so mainly they do things like, finding lost children and getting cats out of trees type of thing.
Just
Because
basic generic hero stuff.
Because the idea is, of course, that there is no way that any villain would ever be interested.
Oh, that's not tempting fate.
Not at all. There's nobody here who's genre savvy. So
Obviously not.
So basically, the bad guy is sort of like a Darwinist type villain who thinks pretty much that the only people who have a right to rights basically are those who are strong enough to take them.
That old chestnut.
In his attempts to bring about this world order that he dreams of, he's basically willing to do more or less anything. So he lets the baddies tinker with his body in an attempt to become host to a power either copied from or akin to the Awful One or whatever. And he manages to acquire, I think, 8 powers, and then his body starts to break down from attempting to use too many different quirks. And basically it turns out that there is a kid on the island who has a power which will allow him to regenerate his own body's cells to offset the degradation, so that he will be able to stabilize and then go on his grand crusade.
Right.
And so basically him and his cadre of no-name villains, or who are inexplicably extremely powerful, despite the fact that they don't appear anywhere else in the story as villains, they attack and everybody has a big fight.
Yeah, so everything you've just said we could sum up as because shonen.
Yeah, everything is very because shonen.
Yeah. That's My Hero Academia because shonen the movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
so go on.
So yeah, it's just that again, not necessarily bad on its own, but just switch your brain off while watching it.
Yeah, like I didn't go out of my way to watch it; it just happened to be there, so I watched it. But I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it. It's really not worth it.
Yeah. Oh, hello. What's this?
Put the eggs in the basket.
Oh, it's an egg basket-y thing.
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's why we're here, to find eggs to put in the basket.
So they don't put them on the map because they're jerkbags.
I got 3 so far. We need 1 more. Oh, we're done.
Got it?
We done. 3. We got the eggs.
So if Geo's on a break week. Oh, well, this is what we were here for, is it? Entirely.
That was it. Yeah.
Recommended.
Let's get out. So if Geo's on a break week, there's not any particular event running. Christmas and the Lotto Grind Hell is going to be starting very, very shortly. So got that to look forward to. I played a little bit of Genshin Impact this week, but I've sort of been turned off of it because of the amount of there's been a lot of oh crap, I didn't grab the box. Welp.
I think you just missed a badge.
No, it's random what's in the recommended quest.
Yeah.
And it's different for every person.
In that
Yeah, it could have been a
case,
bonus
yeah, could
key.
have been a badge. Could have been something really.
Because you people are always in such a hurry to stand around and do very little.
I know, right?
That's why I pushed the one that had you ready up first.
I don't have time to read all that. This game uses way too much text.
Also, way too much swooshy noises. It does love its swooshy noises.
But so Zhongli came out and basically created a drama explosion
Oh,
because, well, as everybody should be aware by now, the gacha in Genshin Impact is not friendly at all.
No, it is the complete opposite and friendly. In fact,
It's exceptionally ruthless. But they basically did a huge amount of hype marketing work for Zhongli before Zhongli came out. And he's a major story character. Lots of people are looking forward to him. And they released all of these videos showing him doing tons of damage and stuff, etc., etc. And he came out and he was just complete garbage. He's just absolute trash. And people made lots of very, very lengthy posts detailing in excruciating detail all of the issues with Zhongli and how he could be fixed, because there's really no reason to put him in a group ever.
Yep.
At all, because he's bad.
He's very bad.
This was responded to by MiHoYo by saying, actually, you guys are just playing him wrong. He's actually a support, and you're just supposed to use him as a pure support.
But that's not how they advertised him.
That's not how they advertised him at all. He was advertised as DPS, and as pure support, he doesn't really bring any.
What are his abilities anyway?
Oh, he's got like a shield and a comet and a bunch of stuff like that. He creates pillars and that sort of thing. Basically, as far as the pillars go, pretty much the protagonist character can do everything that he can.
So there's no reason to have him.
And as far as shields go, all Geo characters can generate shields, and his shield is not really particularly special. So you'd be better off with someone like Noelle or Ningguang. But basically, there is no niche for him as far as I'm aware. And MiHoYo came out with this message saying, no, you guys are just wrong and bad. Zhongli's actually great. And the communities, various community forums, started to fill up with people who were posting defenses that were blatantly shill posts. So it seems an awful lot like MiHoYo's just basically either MiHoYo has a lot of brainwashed diehard fans, which usually gacha games don't maintain brainwashed fans indefinitely because people get burned by the gacha and they become cynical. Even if they continue to love the game, they usually won't continue to defend it. They won't defend every decision made or anything like that. But in this case, there's a lot of people who've basically come out to simp for MiHoYo, despite the fact that there's really no defense. They put out a trash character with no real niche, and then they told everybody to stuff it and that they were wrong.
Yeah.
So basically, that drama pretty much overtook the Chinese and English Reddits and other communities besides. So I was just sort of the popular suspicion is that because Zhongli's character is popular and his appearance is like classic Bishonen. He's as far as the target market is concerned, he's got for characters, he's got more positive points than say Diluc does, because he's got a personality that's more popular with the target audience of Bishonen fans.
Oh, well,
why did you do that, Fern? Why would you do this?
Because apparently I hate myself.
Can't heal in my current form. I can't heal other people.
Yeah.
So don't get blowed up too hard.
Oh, that's a random.
What were we here to do? Oh, kill
Oh
Blitz
yeah, I don't
Blossom.
know.
We gotta get to the final area and kill Blitz Blossom. Oh, I just realized something. When I was flipping classes, all my armor came unequipped.
Well, that doesn't help.
No, it doesn't.
So yeah, the popular theory right now is that they are afraid of building of that they'll never be able to build enough hype again if they let this character be good as well,
Mm-hmm.
because everything will end up being compared to it, and then they'll get locked into a cycle of basically hype and power creep that they won't be able to sustain. And so at the last minute, they pretty much turned this guy's numbers down so far as to make him useless, because his statistically his numbers are actually worse than Barbara on the offense.
That's pretty impressive in a way.
This if he was mediocre, there wouldn't be this much outrage, but he's not mediocre.
Yeah, if he was mediocre, I don't think anyone would notice, especially if they just didn't open their traps.
I mean, he's a banner 5-star who does damage like Barbara. So yeah, there's not really his damage is actually a bit higher than Barbara's because the multipliers and things work differently with weapons compared to Foci. But generally speaking, it's just he's trash along every axis and there's no reason to use him. And the suspicion is that it was because they couldn't come up with a way to one up themselves, and so they just decided to let this one fall by the wayside because, you know, they knew that he was going to still be popular and still rake in the cash
Mm-hmm.
simply by weight of the fact that he's a popular character.
Yep.
But yeah, and watching it all play out, it was just sort of it soured me a bit further on MiHoYo and depressed my my will to actually play the game. So while I played it a bit, I didn't play it as much as I have in previous weeks, which is why I decided to get PSO2 updated, since, you know, they've hit the point at which the game isn't going to radically change every 5 minutes any longer, I hope.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So
We have all the paths to the in-game gear if you really want to start on them. Although y'all got a while on the leveling stage before then, so
I think
And
at this
the
well,
point,
I'm not concerned about that. It was never that I wanted to advance all the way to the top of a progression tree and have in-game weapons or anything like that, because I just don't intend to participate in the really hard content that's too taxing on my attention. But I didn't like the fact that every time I logged in, I didn't understand anything.
yeah.
And
So
so
we're-
that phase of this game's life cycle seems to be over now.
Yeah, I think we get one more new class in the very last patch, and that's it.
all right. It seems like with PSO2 version 2, whatever they want to call it, on the horizon, you're better off focusing on getting the stuff that will transfer over, like all your costumes and stuff.
Yeah, most
Work
people.
towards all that.
Yeah, most people are just working on doing. It's Fashion Star Online.
Yeah.
But it's if they're not doing Fashion Star, they're just leveling up classes and having fun with it while they can, doing their
Yeah.
urgent quests, getting the emotes.
Yeah. Just enjoy what we've got and wait for the PSO2 too, when, in theory anyway, everyone will be on equal footing.
Also, I insist that PSO22 be spelled PSOTU-TU.
PSO22.
Yes.
Yes.
Tutu doesn't have a hyphen in it.
No, it doesn't.
Does it not? I thought it did.
No.
Nope.
You learn something new every day.
But yeah, I play the game to play the game. I don't play the game to accomplish any actual objectives within the game. I just don't like the feeling like I don't know where any of the objectives are, because that means that I don't have a bearing to head toward on any given day.
Mm-hmm.
We did it.
What did we do?
We killed enough of the flower thing around.
Oh, is that it?
Yep. Let's go get our treasure chests.
My little dragon's just been popping them off as we walk past.
My shield that I used for my fast travel was popping them. Unique weapons badge. Oh, a photon booster and a unique weapons badge.
I got a lambda grinder and a lambda grinder.
Hooray for lambda grinders!
I guess if you get a booby prize now, they give you double booby prizes.
A weapons badge and a weapons badge.
That's I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
I
if
don't
you get a
know.
move.
Well, 2 weapons badges. I'm a summoner, so last I looked, weapons badges were still fairly useless.
No, I can go and do floating continent and get the box. It doesn't scratch the box off the list if you don't open it.
All right, so handle this lot in.
This guy behind me is named Naruto24.
Is he orange?
No, he's a girl.
Ah,
Well, so is Naruto sometimes.
I mean, that's fair. Do I have any new titles? Is the question.
He was in a Santa
Yay.
dress, big white hair.
So yeah, they're the whatchamacallit, Genshin Impact community seems to be breaking down along the key fracture lines, which is, you know, the people who are Chinese shills who work for MiHoYo, people who understand that gacha is incredibly cynical and were already anticipating this sort of behavior, people who think that the game should behave like other Western live service games where you can actually hold a gun to the head of the developer and get them to do something. Like this issue has actually caused a lot of fracturing of people into different opinion groups, unsurprisingly, since it's a controversy. But
Oh goodness, the idiot started it already. So get in here and take the teleporter.
Oh, great. Why you do this,
That's
people?
yeah, so it's I'm left behind. Great, fabulous.
Rush.
Well, yeah, they had already started the teleporter.
This is pretty.
Yeah, it's a boss rush. We get a decent chunk of EXP done, but super for a lot.
What am I supposed to be shooting at?
Big orange dragony thing. He's dead now.
It's just your daily chunk of free EXP. It's a boss rush. But yeah, I haven't put much time into. Ow, I hate this boss. I hate the. Oh, not the rare one.
Robo Dog.
I hate these so much.
I'm still in a loading screen. Where is weak spots?
His claws, his face, and any weapons that he, not the ones you naturally see, but the ones that he projects from himself. And I think this one.
Oh, he's dead now.
Oh, he's already dead. That's why I wasn't being able to do anything. What's the point of a boss rush if nothing has the health to survive?
Because we're not all level 80s,
Oh, that's big.
so we can't do the big boy one. So we're at the tier down until Fern catches up. I could have switched to a bigger class, but I needed Fern to catch up.
That was a chonky boy.
You can break those shields, you know, if you want to invest the time in actually hitting them.
Yeah.
Or you can
I
just
don't-
punch him in the face till he falls over.
I'm not sure exactly how it's profitable to do so.
I've never seen these things before.
Yeah, weird crab thingies.
Probably Challenge Quest exclusive dudes.
Oh, it had to die right then, didn't it? Of course it did.
I keep forgetting where my dodge button is now.
Too used to Genshin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had that problem.
No, he's dead.
Yeah.
Ow! My face. That was rude.
Eat flower laser beam. And we won.
And, oh, we won. Okay. So, all that just happened.
Yep, now we got the final boss. Who did we get?
Speed up,
we
lady.
Yeah, we got Baby Profound Darkness. I think that's Apprentice Darkness actually, but whatever. Kill the balls.
The balls.
Victory.
Pew.
Something. You're gonna get back up for phase 2? Sometimes phase 2.
Huh. Why is my mag ability grayed out?
There it is. There's phase 2.
Yeah, I've seen this in Vegas.
Does she show up in Vegas? I've only seen her in the story and in the
I've seen her
quest.
3 or 4 times in the event Vegas,
Oh, okay.
the Miracle
she-
one.
Oh, I guess she came out around that time in the story, so. I didn't do very much of the event Vegas.
Yeah, we did. We all did. We did a huge amount of event Vegas
Yeah.
I don't remember very much of event Vegas.
because they all blur together.
Come on. Yeah, I had to
She
no-hit this boss. I had to find a way to no-hit this boss in story mode to get the star gems. That was fun. And by fun, I mean horrible.
Yeah. Ooh, look at all the shinies.
Ooh, look,
They're
all
all
the-
Vita weapons.
They are
Look at
all
all the
Vita
garbage.
weapons.
Why are they all Vita weapons?
Not even bothering to pick them up. Just get that and back out. I'm here for the recommended quest chest anyway. Alright, Hans, what you got for me? Boosters, 50%ers. Get that crap out of here.
Hang on, there's still eggs on the ground here I've got to get. Vita
Yeah,
weapons.
so it sounds like a lot of people have for this particular situation with Zhongli has been their I got Tokyo bonus key gold.
Oh, nice.
It seems like for a lot of people this Zhongli debacle has been their breaking point if they were already unhappy with the way MiHoYo was handling things.
Mm-hmm.
I think that basically a lot of people are going to basically they're not accustomed to the concept that the game will get more generous as time goes on because gachas always do. Even ones like Honkai Impact have gotten more generous over time, although not a great deal because it's still MiHoYo.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that they're going to see a pretty sharp tailing off in their user numbers as people just sort of get frustrated with the game. I think more and more people are going to start to be coming up on that frustration point around now.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't really progress very far. That's why they're trying to push Dragon Spine out as fast as possible at the moment, and they're already doing previews for it now because people are bored. Like their core user base are bored. So, yeah. Ooh, concert.
Yep.
Ooh. Concert. What do we got?
I don't know.
Let's
The
see.
concerts are new.
It's the red-headed chick.
It's Kuna?
Ah.
Yeah, Kuna.
Does she have Christmas songs in her repertoire?
Yes, she does!
There. The ball is where it belongs. Right in the way.
So we went on an adventure to take that ball all the way to Kuna at the top one time. We got it there. It took a really long time, though. But yeah. So yeah, we can watch the concert and then we can go do a Bewitching Woods or something.
Alright, I had to clean out all my junk again.
Yep.
Junk builds up really quick in this game.
I have to sell all those Vita weapons.
Yeah. Actually, the concert hasn't started yet, so I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, you got like 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes.
I also will need to leave party so I can go grind up all those discs.
Yeah, go for it.
Vita, 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 Vita. All the Vitas. Actually, no, I won't do that. I know what I'll do. Probably what I should actually have done in the first place, and that is grind them into my my wand.
Oh, she has a new.
I'm sure there must be an optimal way to do the whole enhancement thing, but I haven't really bothered to figure it out.
Ooh, I got a bingo.
Nice.
I got photon boosters.
Grats. They're only the most common item in the game, probably.
Oh, they were photon spheres.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's
no,
better.
those are actually valuable.
Something actually useful.
Oh my goodness, I've got so many Vita weapons.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I just grind them in clumps of 5, and they don't even move my weapon XP bar very much.
yeah. I generally just dump 9-star, and I pick a 9-star or a 10-star, and level it up as far as it can go, and then make a stash of those, and then dump those into my higher rarity weapons to save grinders and money.
Yeah, the rest of them are just going to dump into my mag.
Oh, mags. I went on a total spurge spree and bought mags. Bought just a bunch of mags, spent my AC,
Okay.
and then bought a whole bunch of feeders for those mags from the shop, and just leveled up 4 mags to 200 dex, attack, physical attack, ranged attack, and tech attack.
Oh
So I have a mag.
Yes, you were on a spurge spree. You spurged indeed.
Yeah,
Splurge
so I
all
spent
day.
like half of my meseta and to buy all the boosters, and not an insignificant chunk, like $5 worth of real world dollars to buy more mags. So yeah, but yeah, Genshin Impact. I have not played unless somebody asks me to.
Yeah, I knew where this was going. This game was going.
The
But
thing is, that I still like the game. I still enjoy playing
Yeah.
it when I play it.
the worst part I think about it is most gacha games is you can just write them off as being bad and be done with it. But Genshin Impact is actually a very solid game underneath all the nonsense.
Yeah, and I've almost come to the point of resenting it for that. It's like, well, this would be really easy for me to just abandon
Mm-hmm.
if I wasn't having so much fun. But I know that ultimately it's just going to use that fun to betray me.
Yes.
Yeah,
And sooner or later, I'm going to hit that point where I just have to grind the same domain over and over and over and over again for gear.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's not a cool end game. It's not like, say, most conventional MMOs where you're going to be able to fight something really cool and spectacular at the end.
Yep.
no,
It's not like that. You just end up on the treadmill grinding forever. It's not like FGO where grinding is just a method of facilitating your progress through the story, because the story is frankly just not as lengthy. But yeah, there's still good story content in there apparently. I just haven't gotten that far yet.
yeah, it's also scaled to your level, so it doesn't matter that you grind, because most of it scales to your world level. Not all of it, but a good chunk of it does. So it just doesn't really matter how much you grind. You're just keeping the treadmill on even pace to make sure the game's still challenging with you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm in a sort of an awkward position now where my character's power is significantly lower than it needs to be,
Mhm.
because I don't have time to play all the time. So I was logging in and I was doing bits and pieces here and there, and eventually I got up to World 5, but I hadn't progressed my characters because they were all stuck behind material gates, like the insignias, for instance. There's no quick way to farm up insignias. It's a real pain in the butt to farm those.
Do you have?
There aren't that many things to kill that drop them.
Yeah. Do you have any gotcha dust?
I do have some, but I'm often reluctant to use it
Yeah.
because I haven't got that much of it, and it does have other uses. And but yeah, that is the only real option, and it's just another trap, though, isn't it?
I
It's
had to
just
put
another
my
way of
gotcha dust
filtering
on
things to the
insignias.
gacha.
So yeah.
But you're pretty much obliged to, as far as the gacha, as far as the insignias and things like them are concerned. And so I'm gated behind those for several characters, and that means that my power level is low enough relative to the world that it becomes onerous to kill things because I've got so much health. And when you get hit, you die. Some of my characters are like 10 or 20 levels too low to fight most of the creatures, like characters that I use on the regular. And I just can't be bothered with the farm to get all of them up to par because I can only farm in that world. Meaning there's like a couple of characters that I've got who are strong enough to reasonably fight. And the reward for doing so is simply to get back to normal.
Yeah.
It's not great or anything. And of course that also means I need the I almost said Meseta, but it's not Meseta.
Mora or whatever.
It's Mora.
Winnie.
I'll need the Mora. I'll need all the books, the XP books. Like, I would probably have never sort of hit this point if you could level up your characters by fighting by playing the game. But to know that there's so many gating materials on the horizon is just like, well, basically I'm going to have to grind the crap out of this game in order to play the game, which is going to involve me grinding the crap out of it. Like, the rewards just aren't commensurate with the amount of effort that you put in. There's no pinnacle achievement other than, putting damage videos on Reddit or whatever. Like, that's basically seems to be what people do.
Yeah.
So look how much damage I can do with this character now that I've invested my life in grinding up the right artifacts.
Yeah, and it's just... oh, and by the way, so you know how I have a Diluc that the gacha seems to love Dilucing me up? That is still not enough to do appreciable damage at whatever world level you're at level 45, or adventure rank 45. So do not, whatever you're doing, advance the world level at world level 45.
Right.
There is literally no reason to do it.
Yeah, at world level 45, most people are well on the artifact grind train. Like, that's what they do with their time. They just grind artifact after artifact and hope that one of them will have the stat they want. And I'm not thrilled about the idea, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I did not do the artifact grind. I don't want to do the artifact grind. I did the early EXP grind, and that was too much. I just don't want to do it again, and the artifact grind's way worse.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that I'm done with the game or anything, because I do really enjoy playing it. It's just that the game discourages me from playing it at every turn.
Yeah, I think it would be wise to put the game on ice for a bit, pick up after it's got some meat in it, and some time.
I want to see how it develops over the course of time. That's pretty much what I'm looking at. I think that there are some really big holes in the way they do things, which are very predatory. I think, for instance, the constellation system is one of those.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a number of characters that have actual playstyle and mechanics just gated behind constellation, and there is no way to advance that cause except to pump money into the gacha or be very patient. So yeah.
Oh, so expensive to get constellation stuff. Unless you're me and Barbara. I maxed my Barbara's constellation.
I can't bring myself to invest in it. I've already lapsed rapidly into I don't do my dailies mode with it, faster than I have in any other game with dailies. Simply because I didn't trust the game. I expected it to betray me. And it hasn't betrayed me in any specific way, but my will to play it has degraded rapidly, which, considering how much I actually enjoy playing it, is pretty drastic.
Mm.
Because I expected that I would probably play it quite a bit longer and quite a bit harder than I did. But it's that looming feeling of all of the things which you're going to have to do, all of the chores and all of the grinds and ladders and that they're going to put upon you.
That's
goodness.
You're not in the shopping plaza, are you, Fern?
I am.
Were you on camera when that happened?
Symbol
No, I'm looking at
JPEG.
Because that'll get us banned from YouTube. What was just shown?
Do I want to know?
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Right. I see.
Yeah, that guy, put him on ignore.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just straight up porn.
Right, that's happening again, is it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's go to another block.
What block are we even on?
50,
50.
apparently. Let's go to 42.
Yeah, 42 is a wholesome block. As we get there, it's going to be covered.
Comparatively wholesome.
It's going to be covered in porn too, ain't it? Why'd they move to block 50? Block 34 is where you idiots go for this crap.
Seeing as though block 69 is not a thing anymore. I went in the wrong door. Oh well, I'll just go over here.
Yeah,
Yeesh.
let's get away from that.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think I'll ever go back to Genshin Impact again, honestly. Like, I like the gameplay, it's just a lot of other things I don't like.
They would need to have one heck of a come to Jesus moment.
Yeah.
And
Because so much of their business plan is focused entirely on exploitative practices,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really see that changing anytime soon. Because
Especially
most of what
China.
they do is very similar to Honkai Impact Third. Very
Yep.
similar. Arguably, Genshin Impact is worse in a few places, but there are things that translate more or less exactly, like the rate of free gacha materials and that sort of thing.
Yeah. No, let's just pass entirely, I think.
So yeah. Much more wholesome than B42.
Why does she always sing the same song? She has some songs I really like, but I always end up hearing this one, which is possibly my least favorite.
Maybe she has a special Christmas version of it this time.
It is a Christmas version of it.
Maybe she'll have a Christmassy song for Encore.
Do people generally do the encore?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. But yeah, Genshin Impact show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it's. I guess we can only really slot it in the missed potential category, really.
Yeah, I'll
It would have been a great game if it, stood on its own under its own steam on its own merits and wasn't, powered by tears.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
China. I mean, honestly, my problem with it is China, more than anything.
Yeah, that was pretty much the amount of, like, you see it. You see the China peeking out between the cracks if you keep an eye on the way the community acts. Like, we're at the point where in a lot of the English communities, it's almost like the Cold War Red Scare, where everybody's paranoid about communists. It's like they see China shills in everywhere. Anytime somebody says anything defending MiHoYo, it's like, oh, I bet you're a China shill.
They probably are.
The level of paranoia is just, it ratchets up day by day, especially ever since the Zhongli issue, because it was such a cynical play.
Yeah.
And there's apparently there's a talk show interview where the head of MiHoYo straight up says they can give us all the feedback they want. We don't actually care. We're just going to do whatever we want anyway.
Oh, that's charming.
Well, we did put a boot on their neck with, or a knee on their neck, as it were, if you want to be contemporary, with the resin system, and they did acquiesce a little bit because people would not shut up about it.
Well, I don't think that that's the reason. I don't think it was because of anything anybody said. I think it's because people were actually quitting over it. I think that that's the only thing that makes them notice things, is if they actually see the bottom line altered in any way. So if people actually are willing to vote with their wallet, then I think that you might actually see some change. The problem is that Honkai Impact Third has proven that business model works.
Yeah, and now they have a ostensibly better game from what people are talking about. With
Well, I don't
Genshin
know that that's strictly true. Honkai Impact has a good reputation for being a very good game, a very competent action game. They're not part of the same genre. It's just that the some of the exploration, the very limited sort of free movement exploration type sequences in Honkai were really beloved by people, so they went their direction for their next game. But the game itself is actually very competent. MiHoYo have never had that issue of making games that are not competent in terms of systems design for a gameplay perspective. It was always that the monetization hung over everything else in an oppressive way.
I see. I've only heard negative things, but that's mostly because I'm reading places where people are souring on Genshin more and more every day. So
Well, the thing is that
it could just be reactionary to MiHoYo in general. The reason they're saying Honkai wasn't that good.
The thing is that the people who played Honkai hardcore have been doing it for a long time, and they're very, very jaded. Like it's sort of like the people, the very, very many people who rag on FGO systems now. Well, it's entirely reasonable because those systems are now, number one, they're ancient, and number two, you've basically seen the worst of them over the course of time because it's been a long time. And Honkai is sort of like that. Like that, they've had some real issues in the past with balance and that sort of thing, and because they've got competitive ladders that are important in various ways, and they've had characters that have completely smashed the meta at various points. That's the most of what animates the animus towards Honkai amongst its player base are things that don't apply to Genshin Impact.
See,
But the raw systems of monetization are more or less the same. So you're going to get a lot of bitter Honkai Impact people coming along to stick the knife between the cracks and twist.
it's Agura.
Yeah. So, alright, time to move on to another game.
Yep.
What have we got?
Well, we got PSO2 to play, I guess.
We do.
All right, we were still doing weeks.
Yeah, we're just kind of meandering through them. Like, this is a nothing show.
Because the only gaming I did this week was basically breaking myself off of Genshin Impact. So
yeah. Well, watching Quona sing, I guess I can go on my week if you don't have anything else.
no, I don't have anything else really. I've
Alright.
pretty much tapped my shallow reserves of energy, I think.
So, this week has not been good for me for a whole lot of reasons. And, well, incoherent rhymes with noogadoo noises have been coming out of my mouth a lot.
Yeah, we've noticed.
So, I had not been in a headspace to do very much of anything properly, but somehow I managed to sit down and finish Tokyo Xanadu. Well, at least the main story. There's an epilogue, and you have unlocked the true ending. I saw the credits roll right before the show. So for the main story, I can give you... Oh, so no encore for this one?
Looks like it.
Well, nobody's saying it, so
Yeah, okay. Huh, well, we get a boost.
All
right.
Stats
We
is
can go
stats.
do... Yep, we can go do... what you call it? Oh, yeah, confirm registered looks in the lookbook.
I'm glad the symbol art is a little bit tamer here.
Yeah, B42 is a good block.
Yeah.
But
I guess I need to go scrub my history now.
There's always one.
So yeah, we can go do Witching Woods while we talk and do the show. Easy. Well, it's not easy, but it's something we can do passively.
Oh my.
You just wander around and kill bosses.
Only one item receipt may be carried out per individual. Atlas Owls X.
Oh, you got the Atlas weapon?
Looks the Atlas Owls, yeah.
It's a 15-star gunblade, and all the materials you need to turn it into whatever weapon you want.
And how do you go about doing that?
I have no idea.
Right.
So put it in your bank and hold on to it for later.
What were you saying? I was busy deleting lewd symbol art, so I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying.
Yeah, we can. After Fern accepts the party invite, we can go do Bewitching Woods because it's easy. Well, it's not easy, but it's
Send it through again. I was in the terminal.
okay.
There we go.
So yeah, I'll just start it up. We can head there whenever y'all are ready. But yeah, so Tokyo Xanadu. I have the main story done, so I could talk about that now and give my impressions on what is the base story of the main game, not including the new extra chapters added to flesh out some things.
It has lewd head pats.
It does. It has, in fact, Wombo Combo head pads. So, I posted several scenes. One scene in particular to Volosel while I was in one of my more Madden states this week. That was poor Pro Tycoon giving the lewd head pat to a little boy and telling him to be a man, and then he needs to go confront his dad, and that his dad actually cares about him and some junk. And then his dad comes in and is like, "Oh, thanks for taking care of my daughter."
Oof.
Like, not helping. You didn't just loot on a little boy to make him be a man. You looted on a little girl and told her to be a man. What is wrong with you, Pro Tycoon? So yeah, we can just float around and do stuff in this one.
Do a thing.
There is just whenever we're ready to leave, we go kill the final boss. Otherwise, we just float around until the end of the show and kill stuff for loot and the EXP.
Yep. All right.
So yeah, so Tokyo Xanadu, I like it a lot. As far as its storytelling goes, it feels much more in line with Trails in the Sky, and that it actually has a story it's telling and not getting distracted. Getting distracted seems to be a problem with Cold Steel, and this is my biggest complaint with Cold Steel: is its story just gets too meandery and wanders off with too big of a cast. With Tokyo Xanadu, we have effectively about 9 or 10 characters that are really relevant to the story, and a few side characters, but not the absurd number that you would find in other games. I gotta turn the sound of my game down because I had it turned up for the concert.
So did I. I'm having a coughing fit here.
But yeah, and it does much better because it has time to focus on all those characters and give them at least a proper story for the length of game we're going for here. You're not getting a mega RPG with Xanadu. This was we have the assets from Cold Steel, and we want to take a break from making Cold Steel.
So let's just make this silly side thing.
Yeah. So know what you're getting if you go into the game, but for what it was really good. The dungeon crawling is the worst part of the game, which for a dungeon crawler is not something you want to hear come out of the person telling you to go play its mouth. But
yeah,
the dungeon crawling is not the worst thing in the world, to be charitable.
Oh, yeah, treasure chest.
It just is not very engaging and devolves into spam projectiles and keep dodging, or just learn to time your dodge to get your invulnerability frames through, and then hit them with a power attack, or you blow all your special meters and do your big hit. So the combat is not very deep. There are a lot of things you can do in combat, but they all wind up not mattering very quickly, because each character will specialize in one of those many things you can do. So the fact that every character can do them doesn't really matter. I played on hard, not the super hate yourself difficulty, but on hard. And early in the game, I was getting one shot by everything. Later in the game, when I figured out the element system and geared myself more appropriately, nothing could do any kind of significant damage to me. The bosses were hitting me for maybe half my health. And yeah. That's for that game, that's not much, because you have 3 characters you control at all times. So they have to kill all 3 characters, and if their hardest hits for half your health, you can take like 10 hits per boss, and you have healing items. So yeah, the combat quickly loses its difficulty curve. Although there is a new Game Plus mode added that's supposed to alleviate some of this. But yeah.
Okay.
So that modifier is available after you get the true ending. So
I just got bitch slapped by a Minotaur.
Yeah, they do that.
How rude.
So yeah. The drawing point of Tokyo Xanadu, if you do want to play it, is the very simple, very tropey anime RPG stories, urban fantasy setting. I like all things urban fantasy, but if you're not a fan of that subgenre, the story is gonna grate on you a little bit.
You mean you mean the lewd head pat subgenre?
Well, that extends into high fantasy as well with Falcom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tropey stuff isn't necessarily bad, especially when they sit down and they start taking the piss out of themselves for it.
Yeah. Field available, so we can see stuff here.
Nope, you found friends. Many friends.
But yeah, I don't know if I recommend it. Is the hard part, because while I enjoyed the story of the game and thought it was well put together for a short story and a side project of a game, I do not think the gameplay is worth playing the game for.
Well, I've
Okay.
never played a game. I've never played an RPG for the gameplay before. I'm sorry.
Well, it's not an RPG; it's an action. So it's just an RPG. It's an action game with RPG tacked onto it, but it's an action game first when it comes to its gameplay.
Well, I mean,
So-
you said that it was kind of trivial though because you could just dodge everything.
Yeah, it's just it just is not very engaging. Is the point I'm trying to make with that? You're not really paying attention to anything while you're playing the game. You're just kind of autopiloting your way through dungeons, and after you know how to S rank them by getting a 200 combo and the easy ways to do that, you don't have to think at all to S rank the dungeon. You just got to be sure you occasionally check the map to get all the treasure chests. We are not getting many boss spawn. Normally I've got like
Yeah,
3
not.
to... But yeah. So it's really hard to recommend just because the gameplay is not very good, and I don't know how. I hope this is not indicative of what they're going to be trying with the Calvert games. This is what really worries me in the Trail series, because while this game was experimental and interesting for tiny experiment, I don't want to see them take this type of action combat into Calvert with the next Cold Steel game, or not the Cold Steel game, the Trails game,
Yeah.
because it's just not very good. It's very clunky. It's very slow. It's very repetitive. There's no real way to innovate or do anything new with combat. But I do think it shows that they can still tell a good story, because I was starting to get a little worried with Cold Steel that they were slipping. But they clearly still have the ability, because the story itself was pretty good for what it was. It focused way more than the Cold Steel games do, because the Cold Steel games have a problem of character bloat, where there are just too many important characters by the end of it.
Yeah.
That's the Cold Steel series' particular problem. But these games do a much better job of, or this game in particular, because it's a one-off game. They have to do everything with a cast in this one game and don't have time to dump a bajillion characters. It looks like they might start to, but then they realize they run out of time, and most of them just become one-note side characters. And the game focuses on your party members plus the immediate people associated with them.
Well, the thing is that this seems to be a symptom that you find in pretty much every game that has a cast that is a class, because you are by default usually generating 20 to 30 characters that are all expected to be important.
Yeah, and this was even with the class numbers not quite that big in the Cold Steel series, they got to that big over time, and it
Well,
continued.
they kept moving the year forward, didn't they?
Yeah,
So it stands to reason there are going to be more students next year.
yeah, the 9 students of Class 7, plus the teacher, plus all the instructors, plus all the kids from all the other classes, plus all the kids that come in the new Thor's Academy when the next, when after Reen's graduated and he's become an instructor. Oh my goodness, it just doesn't stop. So yeah, it gets to be a bit of a mess in Cold Steel, which is character bloat, and I hope they really avoid that in future. And yeah, it's if you want to see Falcom at their not their peak story writing, but their competent story writing, and you want more of the Trails in the Sky tier writing, you can go check out Tokyo Xanadu. It's not as good as Trails in the Sky, not even close, but it's still the story is still worth your time if you're into that kind of story. That kind of urban fantasy stuff's going on, we need to figure out why. And it has a fairly satisfying conclusion, if a very sad one for the main story, but apparently the extra chapters make it not sad. If what I've been spoiled on is to be believed. So yeah. Just I would look at some gameplay trailers before you buy it, because gameplay can get really bad. So yeah, that's all the gaming I think I've done. I really haven't done any other games.
Okay.
Just haven't really been in the mood to. Oh, we finally got a Dark Fells.
I don't like this guy. I've got trauma associated with him.
Oh, he's the big boy. Yeah, he's the big boy version too. But
he is a big boy version.
Yep, you have to fight him in the story. Oh, the Griffins are here.
And the Griffins are gone.
Laser beam them.
All right. I say we should take a break, but we're in the middle of PSE burst.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
So can you continue on?
Yeah. So I imagine those of you that are not in the U.S. are probably wondering why a bunch of your U.S. friends are making monkey noises.
No, we're really not. The entire world is watching your country freak out.
So just be patient with your Americans, with your American buddies. We're all, depending on where you stand, appropriately or inappropriately reacting with loud monkey noises to what's going on.
There's so many monkey noises,
and they are very warranted if they're coming from my camp, because my camp is the right one. That's how American politics works.
That is how American politics works, yes.
So, just be very patient with us. We are currently going through a bit of an upheaval.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Things are going to get worse before they get better, I reckon.
Yeah, they are. Oh, we got another Dark Fells. So after this Dark Fells.
I have trauma associated with him also.
Don't you just pretty much all of the Dark Fells?
Some of them I have more trauma associated with than others.
I didn't get to do my big explosion.
Oh, he's dead already? He's dead already.
Yeah. Oh, I did clip him with the big explosion. Okay, so we can
just Vita weapons.
We can go float our way into the boss, I guess, if y'all want. Break.
Yeah, let's do that.
So we have a safe room over here. We can at least dip into the safe room while we take a break. So, alrighty. Once Fern gets in here in the safe room, we will break. We'll be right back. Here's some music, folks. And we're back.
Yes.
So what actually is the boss?
What is the boss in here? Yes.
Castor and Monica.
Oh, that's a castle man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Oh, he just,
getting wrecked.
huh. He doesn't punch very hard for a castle. I need to change pets.
I can't hit him.
That's because we got to jump on his arm now.
I know, it's
Okay.
large enemies make homing arrows behave strangely.
Oh, well, Synchro's got his own ideas. He just...
That's
Oh.
okay. I went Dark Blast and punched it in the head.
Yeah, I saw you turn into a thing. What was that?
Dark Blast.
It
Okay.
was Luther. Well, that was anticlimactic.
Yeah, that's why Dark Blast is important to get EXP for, because you can do that.
Just run up and boop him in the nose.
Yeah, you can. It's basically
Snoot, Fern. The
Oh, yes.
snoot.
Boop him on the snoot.
yeah. If a whole group saves the Dark Blast for the boss, you can just invalidate the boss. So yeah, yeah. I guess I can queue us up for that again, and we can
Yeah.
just do that while we talk, because it's the best EXP for just when you're not paying attention.
Alright, well, let's offload our junk first, because I got loads of stuff to identify.
I have every Vita weapon on the planet.
Yes.
So yeah, tell me when y'all are ready, and I'll queue us up again for that. But yeah,
Meanwhile, though, what is there to talk about? That is
Alex
not...
Jones.
Alex
Wars.
Jones.
What?
Oh.
Hello, hello.
Pickle.
Pickle,
Pickle.
indeed. So, okay.
I'm gonna haul him up by a chain.
I feel bad for Fern.
And you start singing along with Alex Jones, you know something's gone wrong.
Welcome to the United States right now.
United States of America.
So you're gonna see a lot of stories coming out the next few weeks, like new states called New California, New Nevada, and Texas sending 1776 electors to vote, since apparently rules don't matter anymore. These are all things that have been pitched by the legislatures of the states.
They not happy, man.
No.
No.
And I am not happy either. I was not in a good headspace last night. Yeah, I posted in the politics board a picture of the head politics moderator from the Kiwi Farms. Or I
Mhm.
posted one of his posts. He's like, "No, I don't get in the middle of this effing stuff. No, y'all gone berserk." People asking for his take. What do you
Well,
say?
he's not wrong.
Yeah,
That's that. I'm
he's-
not jumping in the middle of this. You people have gone berserk.
I would rather stick my genitals into a wood chipping machine.
Be safer.
Yes,
Somebody said something in that equivalent, and his response was meatbag.
meatbag.
He does HK-47.
Best EA character ever.
So yeah, it's just this whole week has been a roller coaster ride of good and bad emotion. Because also, okay, we can relate this to real world week stories.
Okay.
I had to do the wonderful task of applying for health insurance again because our prospective senile president, according to the media, the more likely his chances get, the higher premiums shoot up.
Are they just to cover his medical bills?
No, it's because he's going to basically destroy all competition
Aha.
in the name of creating competition.
Yeah, so our healthcare went up by 75%.
Wow.
And our renewal was coming up, and the deadline is the middle of next week. So I had to find us new health insurance. And I had to spend like a day and a half of work time calling up health insurance people and asking them what their policy plans are for a business. And I do not know how to navigate something of this financial impact on this many lives. I write paychecks for people. I can do that. I could do accounting for a business. But it's a totally different ballgame when you're going and calling people and going, "Hey, I'm speaking on behalf of a business. That was a new business. That was a new experience. And I've got, over 10 employees I need you to provide health insurance for. What are the best deals you can give me on that?"
This seems like it's outside the normal province of what the IT department does.
Yeah.
A whole lot of things I do are outside what I got a degree in. Like everything. Although I did minor in helping 74-year-olds get their passwords back, apparently. That's about the most IT stuff I do these days. Oh, Christmas on Ice is up.
Okay.
Urchin Quest.
Alright, well, how does this one work?
You just stay with the group and try not to get too spread out or get too far ahead, and you kill the bosses when they pop.
Okay.
It will take like 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, we'll sneeze on it and it'll fall over.
Christmas on Ice. Are you going to push the button?
I gotta wait on ball.
Not you.
What?
There's a button to press.
Whenever you're ready.
It's telling me to go to my notifications, but I can't because there's a banner across the top of the screen.
Oh,
So
yeah. So, yeah, let's just have a quick flick through while we do this. See if there's anything actually non-Game Awards related, because everything is Game Awards related.
So, I dumped a few small things in there. The one small thing. So, remember that guy that killed himself on YouTube? Or jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge that was a YouTuber?
I did not.
Guy?
Yeah, Edico, whatever his name was, the Smash guy.
Oh, right. Yep, okay. I'm with you.
So, apparently somebody made a bunch of Joy-Cons for charity that had Edica's logo and stuff on them.
Oh, no.
And Nintendo sent them a CMD.
They're just shells. They're not actually Joy-Cons.
Yeah, they're just shells for the Joy-Cons. So, I don't know the charity. And I used to be more sympathetic to charity work. I am now much less so the older I get and realize where that charity money actually goes.
Yeah, not to charity.
Yeah, not to...
Usually to administrators and political lobbyists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that aside, I am going to take the unreasonable assumption that this was done in good faith to give money to a good cause. This is probably not true, but we'll go with that.
Yeah,
Nintendo sent them a CMD. Because Joy-Cons.
Yep.
Laying aside cynicism about charities, it's still a case of stay classy, Nintendo.
Yeah. It's just, seriously, like, that was not good optics there. But Nintendo is the chief of these. Protect their IP over optics at all times.
But the thing is, they can get away with it because their IPs are basically bulletproof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's never going to be a day that will come where people just refuse to buy the next Mario game.
Yeah, it would take a decade of Sonic level mess ups to get them even damaged.
I mean, even Sonic still has people.
Well, yeah, that's why. It didn't kill Sonic either.
Still hasn't killed Sonic.
But it hurt him, unless you're 14 for some reason. I don't know what Sonic's appeal is to the younger generation these days.
He's a cool dude. Yeah.
He's rad. Oh, did Hadron get shit?
No, just actually saying that nonsense actually hurts.
Oh, I thought the Black Hadron punched you in the face.
Now I'm far back enough, he won't punch me. Oh,
like
he's dead.
Corn on the cob. Oh yeah, all the bosses here have like no HP. And there's no loot to get until the very end.
Okay, here we go. I'll go this way.
Yeah, you just cruise around the perimeter, killing whatever pops, pretty much.
Yeah, and we'll get all our loot at the end.
Right. All right. Let me see news articles. Well, we've already discussed this, but yeah, Cyberpunk is buggy. Is one of the other big news article of the week.
So the only person who I watched actually try to stream the game was doing his best to shill for it, but he just wasn't very good at it, and that was Razorfist.
Yeah.
Because
Well, he wanted it to be good, but he hates CD Projekt Red and he hates everything that they do.
yeah, like he was trying so hard to shill for it, but it was hilarious because if you have your music on, listen for the music change after this boss slams on you. Be sure you get hit by the slam to get the music change.
Okay.
He'll spin around, be in front of him when he slams. Oh.
I can't really hear the music over everything anyway.
Yeah, people making too much noise.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get hit.
It might change anyway. But
put that off and again.
Yeah, it changes to a Christmas version of Rare Drop Koi Koi.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Those bunnies are staring at us.
Yes, they are.
Ah, there's a lizard on my face. I think it's a lizard.
It's a quartz dragon lizard thing.
Dragons are technically lizards.
I see. So yeah. What were we talking about? I got distracted by Rare Drop Koi Koi.
Shilling for Cyberpunk.
Oh right. And it was hilarious in the Razorfist stream because his stream kept breaking because of the bugs.
Oh wow.
So he couldn't even stream the game because it was causing frame drops. I
didn't watch it, but I didn't watch his stream. But from the peripherals, because I catch the peripherals of his stream sometimes because they'll show up in my Twitter feed when I'm like checking it when I'm at lunch or whatever. And it seemed like he wasn't so much trying to shill for Cyberpunk as he was trying to defend his own PC against allegations that it was just because he didn't have enough hardware.
That's possible. But yeah, his stream crashed like 4 times. It was unwatchable. You have to skip around. You can't watch it straight. But it just it wouldn't work on PC for him.
Yeah, I've heard that you usually encounter your first bugs around character creation.
Whoa, that's bad.
Yeah, so this one is it needs to sit on the shelf for a while and get some patches before it's even worth trying. And even then, it's going to be a ginormous download.
Oh yeah, it is. It's 60 gigs roughly.
So
it's not the biggest, but it's up there.
Well, it has a 60 gig day one pack.
Oh, okay. In that case, it gets you to download the game twice. That's fun.
Yeah, or a 40 gig day one patch or something. And now that the US is moving towards data limits when the rest of the world was catching up to us and getting off of them.
Yeah, data limits are a solution to a problem that no longer exists.
Yeah.
I would say arguably they're a solution to a problem that never existed.
Arguably, yeah.
Maybe if you had the worst infrastructure in the world, I'm talking like copper wires that need electricity running through them to transmit data, and they are literally put together by copper snakes and spiders. Maybe. Oh wait, that's basically
that's what I've got. So yeah, like when dial-up was a thing, data limits were kind of necessary because there really was no internet infrastructure.
Well, even then, they got out of that phase pretty quick.
Yeah, when broadband came around.
And note, this was when we were in that. It was only an issue in that transitionary period between phone line and DSL.
Mm-hmm.
Because once we got to DSL, it didn't matter anymore. And while we were on phone lines, it also didn't matter.
Yeah, the phone
if you're on phone line,
use of the phone line, and let's face it, the ridiculous cost of dial-up was kind of the limiting factor there anyway.
Well, the phone lines would throttle themselves anyway, and you ran as many phone lines as you needed through an area.
Yeah.
So it was the problem
per megabyte. That's what it used to cost in New Zealand in about 1998.
Good gravy.
Oh yeah, internet's always been expensive over here.
If you lived in the middle of the city, you could get it for $2.95 per megabyte.
Wow. So yeah, I'm not sure why that's becoming a thing again.
Yeah, it's only becoming a thing in the States, from what I understand.
Yeah, everyone else is moving away from it.
Well,
It's
I mean, Biden will let the big corporates get away with murder, so
Yeah, the U.S. telecom company, I've railed on it before. Part of my reason for reluctance to let them get away with net neutrality was because of all the corporations in the U.S., the telecom companies are the worst. Even worse than big tech, even though they're the big hot topic right now. The
Mhm.
U.S. telecom companies are the most corrupt and evil organizations on the planet.
Because you're running a monopoly without being a monopoly.
Yeah, they run a pseudo-monopoly. They're a non-competitive pseudo-monopoly.
Yeah.
And I've railed about them forever.
So, all right. So, yeah, get back on topic anyway. Cyberpunk. Yeah, we've already said I think everything we need to do on this one. It needs to go back on the shelf.
game about penises. There was a rumor going around earlier this week that whether or not your character's penis was circumcised influenced social interactions during the game.
Okay. That seems like an oddly specific thing to do.
I don't know if it's true or not. I was unable to find confirmation, but nor did I find anybody denouncing it.
I'm biting my tongue. There's a Ben Shapiro joke in here somewhere.
Let's not do that joke.
Let's not. I mean, if it's something that would come up in a conversation, maybe, but I can't see it changing anything else. Anyway.
But yeah. Oh, man.
Keep digging. What else we got?
There really was not a whole lot else because everybody was waiting for the Game Awards.
Not now.
Oh, yeah.
Come here, you. I'm going to beat you up because you cheated blackjack.
Look at his outfit for Christmas.
I can't because he's too buried in particle effects. There you go.
So, yeah. I think we might have to call it early here. It's a cop-out show.
Yeah, it's going to be really a cop-out show.
But yeah, Vol's sick. I'm not in an appropriate headspace to do anything that requires brain power. But we were here. That's what matters.
What happens if your country devolves into civil war over the next few days? Like, we won't be able to do our Games Award show.
They're not going to be able to do a whole lot of things. That'll be on the lower end of our worries.
Yeah.
Well, lower end of your worries, maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to be dead, so that'll be a pretty big concern at the time. Well, actually, I probably won't have many concerns after I'm dead. I got my belt. One of my belts.
I guess. Yeah, hopefully everything gets sorted out, but I honestly don't see cool heads prevailing.
No, it's at a breaking point. Somebody's going to do something stupid.
Yeah. Ooh, big ass Christmas tree.
Why are they all discs?
I'll take the discs.
That is a lot of everything. Round. Can I pick it all up?
I actually got a skillet in there.
Whole bunch of unidentified weapons. No Vitas. There's a first.
I got a whole level of EXP in there.
I got about 1/20th of a level of EXP.
Well, you're the whole quest tier above, and I got my Val's weapon done.
Nice.
I'm working on my rod.
Oh my!
Yep.
I mean, the joke was there.
Yep. I knew it as soon as I said it and wanted to spin it myself, but y'all beat me to it.
Yeah. All
so
right.
yeah.
And just give one more quick flick around, otherwise we might just tap out.
Yeah. So sorry about the cop-out show, folks, but sometimes the weeks just don't go your way.
Yeah, when things don't work out, then there's not much you can do about it.
So next week, Vol will be healthy. How do I English?
Vol will be not dead.
I will know how to. Well, I might be dead,
Please
Infern
don't be
will
dead. If I'm here and both my ho-hosts are dead, then I've got a problem.
Fern's gonna outlive both of us. Like, that's a guaranteed.
He lives in Australia. I don't think it's a guarantee at all.
No, it's really
He's
not.
used to it. He's like, that makes him tougher, right?
Yeah, but it also means that everything that he meets every day is poisonous.
There is always a potential for death everywhere you go, yes.
I thought they just immunized all their kids to all the toxins, like that one dude in that one emperor.
No, you've got to earn it by getting bit.
Yeah, they don't work otherwise.
I see.
So let me flick over here and mute us out.
All right.
Yeah, it's a cop-out show, but I mean, we've reached 2 hours.
For a cop-out show, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Also, I will actually throw out a quick apology for last week's show. After working on it for a good bit of the week, yeah, it's not recoverable. Or at least not in its entirety.
Yeah, so we lost half the show last week.
Lost half the show. I can retrieve part 3, but it'll be like you get the first half of the show, missing most of it, and then the last 5 minutes. So I'm not going to worry about adding that back in.
That's okay. It was just us messing around in Minecraft and talking about some stuff.
Because, yeah, last week everything was, oh, we're going to wait to announce everything at the Game Awards.
Yep. So, alrighty then. You got anything else for us on this out?
Nope.
Nope.
If I'm still alive, I'll see you next week, folks. Sayonara. Bye-bye.